400 pounds, and he's going to the top.
Is he going to hit his?
Into abyss, into the barbed wire, and we have. Look at him! Wow, massive belly to belly, and this might be all for Moose. Shoulders. Oh, big Samoan drop there by Congo Kong. Stunned as they look at Congo Kong for the first time. Fury certainly unleashed.
Yeah. Five-time JCW World Heavyweight Champion.
How you doing, everyone? Welcome back to Ask Us Anything. I'm Bob RoX, and this is my co-host, Rude Boy.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? We'd like to thank you guys for joining us, hanging back with us. Bobby, man, we got a cool show today.
Fuck yeah, we got a great show today, and we already got the chat room filling up, and people are chatting. I see a comment in there about our new wrestling show. I can't wait to talk to you guys about that.
Oh yeah.
There's been a couple weeks, since we talked to you last, and shit just keeps rolling here.
Man, I got to tell you something, Bob. Like, things that have happened in the last 2 to 3 weeks in my life, man, have been like altering, life-changing, and in a good manner. And it's just, I'm feeling good, man. It feels good to be alive. It feels good to be back, right here at RoX-TV. With my homeboys, with my brothers, man, and making history, man. Like we only do.
Writing history. RoX-TV.com. If you go to Amazon, we just dropped a book, Echoes for the Machine.
Another book.
Another book.
That's what we do. This production company, not only as video, not only as audio, but it is also a place where you can get your books published.
Right now, we're the kings of underground media, but we've been slowly surfacing, and soon we're going to take over the world.
That's right. It's going to take one step at a time, but it's all good, though. It's all good. We'd like to welcome all of our new viewers who are here for the very first time. What we do right here is we answer any questions that you may have. You may have a question about politics. It may be about sex. It may be about money. It may be about what you're going to have for dinner tonight. Whatever it is, me and Bobby, we're going to do our best to try to answer those questions in our professional manner like we only know how. And usually the questions are about wrestling or about music history, which both of us, myself and Bob RoX, both of us have been involved in both entertainment fields for a collective 50 years plus.
I was just born into music. It was shoved in my cradle.
Really?
Oh yeah, they said that. If you ask my aunt, she was like, "Oh, I hated babysitting you," and I called your mom and dad, and they said just put on the Black Sabbath record and calm down. And it was true.
The Black Sabbath record. That's crazy, man. That's nuts. Yeah, you know, music's been a part of my life since, God, I can remember. My father used to think he was Elvis. He could barely speak English, but he thinks he's... So we always had music in our house, and my folks, man, really love like Philadelphia R&B, you know, like the dramatics and, you know, the stylistics. And so we'd always hear that in our household when we were kids. And we never really, like, we always heard the classics.
I was definitely born and raised on classic rock and soft rock on my mom's side. You know, she went from classic rock in the 70s to... You know, like an
Air Supply.
Well, yeah, that a lot of the, you know, just you know, the Rod Stewarts and just all those, you know, lovey anthems and stuff.
So those are cool, man.
I learned to appreciate them, but at the time, you know, I wanted the heavy shit.
You know, it's crazy, man. Like my son Santana, who just turned 11, you know, last week. He's like, you know. One of his favorite bands of all time is the Wailers, Bob Marley's band. Now, everyone knows who Bob Marley is. You know, he's you know, he's the Prince of Peace. He's the you know, his music is all love and peace. And my son grew up on Bob Marley and the Wailers, his band. So when he found out that the Wailers were coming to Detroit, he was like, "Dad, I gotta go see the Wailers." And this is an 11-year-old. And of course, you know, I had to spoil my boy, and we were at Shane Park, and we were down there enjoying the Wailers. You know.
Can y'all hear me now?
They couldn't hear you, huh?
They always say they can't hear me. I just gotta yell, I guess.
Or speak like a man, damn it.
God damn it, boy.
Don't be what's that word I'm looking for? Pussy.
Don't be pussyfooting me.
Let's go. So anyways, we've got people in the chat room right now. Anybody, if you'd like to ask a question, and I don't care what that question may be, because myself, Rudy Hill, I can't speak for Bobby RoX, but Rudy Hill is an open book, damn it. I will tell you how it is. You may not like what I have to say, but damn it, I'm going to kick it to you the way I only know how, and that's the truth, Ruth.
I'm an open audiobook because I don't really write good, but I do talk. Eddie Gretsch says, Rudy, having a birthday party again this year?
Oh.
Why the fuck are you not listed as a host for Hollow Wicked?
Oh, wow, Eddie, that is a great question, which I welcome you to send your cards and letters and emails to Psychopathic Records and ask them that very same question. Yes, I'm having a birthday party. Of course I am. Friday, November 4th at Trixie's in Hamtramck. Yes, it's the Rude Boy annual birthday bash. You know how we do it every year. Every year we do my birthday bash, and this is going on 12 years now. And every year we do it as a fundraiser, and we choose, different organizations. Last year we chose the Detroit Public Schools to help them out, and we're going to do that again this year because we couldn't help all of the students of the Detroit Public Schools in one party. So we're doing it again this year. Admission to get in is simple. You bring brand new gloves, brand new hat, scarf, or a $5 donation, and we will be distributing it to the children of Detroit Public Schools. Last year, our school of choice was Munger Elementary in Southwest Detroit. This year, our school that we are going to be providing for is the Davison school right there, just off of Davison Freeway right there in Detroit. And I'm excited about it. We love doing this.
I'm really glad you clarified, because the first year when you said hats, scarves, and mittens, that's all I showed up wearing.
Yeah, I know.
I was very confused.
Yeah, you were. And it meant, but all of that and a thong? Like,
well, I knew I can't go out there and steal everyone's ladies.
But anyways, that's happening on Friday, November 4th at Trixie's right there on Carpenter in Hamtramck, man. Trixie's, they're such good people. I love Drew and Ian and all the crew over there. They're great people. This is going to be our 4th year in a row that we've done the Rude Boys Big Ass Birthday Bash at Trixie's. I'm happy to go back. I love Hamtramck. Hamtramck's been nothing but good to us, Bobby.
Oh, it's a great city to be in. But Trixie's, it's like the heart of the city, really, because you can go there and you can feel the mood of the people, and it's usually pretty poppin'.
It is.
You got to be there November 4th, and you know what? We're going to be dropping some more days for you to remember very, very soon.
Yeah, well, we're going to have some live entertainment there. We're going to be dropping some knowledge about that. We've got a punk rock band that's going to be playing that night. They're going to be doing a set. They're called Moco. They're from Southwest Detroit, and they're all Chicano brothers, and they're going to be doing some punk rock. We've got a freestyle artist, man. Now, let me tell you something, man. You know about Nora Uvella, and she came to Chicano Fest and tore it up. You were the sound guy. You seen it better than anyone.
She brought that fire, you know what I mean? And that's what you can expect November 4th. She's going to be bringing a fire set, performing
all of that freestyle classics.
A lot of her hits. And when you hear her hits, you're going to think you're listening to the radio.
It's true, man. It's true. And let me tell you fellas out there, she's not so bad on the eyes either. I'm just saying.
So Anya Garcia wants to know, Rudy, what you been listening to lately? What's on the top of your playlist?
Oh, on my playlist? Well, let me say this. My playlist stops at like 97-ish. But lately I've been listening to believe it or not, I've been listening to a lot of Elvis. I seen the movie 3 times. It was that good. So I like rediscovered Elvis. I've been listening to a lot of Tower of Power, which is a group from your way, Anya. The Tower of Power, they're from the Bay Area. And let me tell you something, man. These Chicano brothers are dope. And they're coming to Detroit on a rare occasion next Thursday, I think it is. Yeah, because Friday is George Lopez, and I'm going to be checking out my boy George Lopez in Detroit. But anyways, Tower of Power, man, if you like that old school funk, you definitely want to hear some Tower of Power. And you know what? And I go back to the classics. I'm still kicking it with War, and y'all know how I do it, man. That's always Prince. It's always a Prince party. What about you, man? What's on your radar?
Oh, shit, he turned it on me.
I got to know.
Right when I was going to turn it. Oh, man, you know what? I actually discovered today that on my Amazon Music, I can hit this thing called My Soundtrack, and it analyzes everything I've been doing for the last couple of years and makes my own little radio station based on that, which was really good for me because when there's people in the car, I can always pick jams. I like to entertain. But when I'm by myself, I don't know what the fuck I want to listen to. I start skipping tracks and, you know, so it was just good for it to randomly pick. You know, it pulled up some Heart Barracuda, and I was like, yeah,
Okay.
I think I will right now.
All right, all right.
But Rudy.
Yes,
but
sir.
Rudy.
Yes, sir.
I see there's a new wrestling show on RoX-TV.
There is.
Wrestling Real Talk, and you know, I've seen the first 3 episodes, and I'm liking what I'm seeing here.
Well, I got to tell you something, man. This was a brainchild of me and A.T. Hook, and I got to tell you something. We collectively, both of him and I, we have over 65 years in the wrestling business, and we know all of the legends, and we've met them, and we've wrestled them, and we've worked with them. And some of them we haven't. Some of them we're just fans of. And I want to tell you something, man. We have a dynamite season going on right now. We've already dropped the Fabulous Freebirds. We dropped the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And this week, right now, you can check out the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. Isn't this true?
It's 100% true. You know what's the cool thing is, you know, I'm not even going to lie to you. At first, I'm thinking, well, we have one of the best wrestling shows on this network, Big Time Memories. And
It's
I'm
true.
Thinking, how do we top that? And we don't, because
You
it's
don't.
a totally different show.
No.
And it's a very different show. Big Time Memories, you know, focus mostly on big time wrestling and adjacent companies around that time. This is an all-around profile of that wrestler and talking about their history and then asking the hard questions.
You know, I was with Jerry Lawler last Saturday. I was here in Detroit. Me and Santana, we were with Jerry Lawler. And I was talking to Jerry Lawler, and he was like, man, what a great show you guys got with that Wrestling Real Talk. So in season 2, Jerry Lawler is going to be one of our guests, and I'm really excited about that. So we're going to be bringing on guests, and we're going to be doing interviews, and a lot more than just doing the profile.
And I look forward to seeing the hard questions. Like I said, when you're asking A.T. Huck about Dusty and his dealings with Vince and stuff, you know, you guys are posing the questions that other people just skip right over.
Yeah, we try to go a little bit in depth, but we're not trying to be like a dirt show either. We're not trying to look at, you know, the bad that these guys have been in or what they've done wrong in their lives. Look, there's enough people out there nitpicking and canceling people for their past. Look, everyone can change, you know. Everyone can. I know Rudy Hill has changed. You know, as a 51-year-old man, I'm not the same guy I was at 21 years old. That's for sure. So we're not one of those shows that are going to be looking for the scandal, because who cares about that, man? What we're showing you on Wrestling Real Talk is just, man, look, some of the heroes of big time of professional wrestling, period.
Let me just say it like this. It's not a dirt sheet show. Like he said, what it is their standards in wrestling. How good the guy is in the ring. How good he speaks. How over he is with the crowd. And these are the kind of things they analyze. They see how close these wrestlers are to the perfect wrestler.
It's true. You're absolutely right about that. And that's what we do. And we also honor those who came before us. You know, and I hope one day in the way long future, when I'm dead and gone, that someone will say, you know what, that Rude Boy, he wasn't so bad in the ring. He did all right.
One of our biggest fans, OG Wrestling Fan 17, he says, yo, homies, if you guys could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Woo!
Shoot, I'm living it, man. Southwest Detroit, baby. What?
I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna give you both answers, because I said it a million times. Every time I buy a lottery ticket, every time I'm waiting for that next video to go viral, no matter what, I'm gonna live in Michigan.
Yeah.
In the Metro Detroit area, and that's just not gonna change. The house might get nicer, you know, it might not, but I'm gonna live in Michigan. But if I didn't, if Michigan got blown off the map and they said, oh, you fuckers got to go somewhere else, I really like Texas and Tennessee.
I hate Texas, by the way. And the reason why I hate Texas, I love Texas, But, man, if you get caught with a joint, bro, you're going to prison, man.
I understand.
You're going to prison. And especially as much weed as you smoke, Bobby, man, they're gonna put you under the jail.
Man, you're making me
I'm
wanna
scared
smoke
for
just
you, man.
thinking
I don't want
about
you
it.
to go back to. Don't go back. Don't go back.
Listen, all I'm thinking about is that beef, man. I am a hamburger guy, and I've been into a burger from Texas. No, I don't have beef.
Hey, man, I'm not judging, bro.
Not
I'm
that
not
kind
judging,
of beef.
bro.
I'm
Hey, bro. That's between you and
I'm
Jesus,
talking
bro.
about
That's
the
between you
anus.
and Jesus. Oh, the anus? The what? What did he say?
I ate a lot of anus down in Texas. No. No, the food
Again,
was so
bro. La, la,
good.
la, la, la.
No, the food was good.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I have family in San Antonio, and I love San Antonio. I love El Paso, and I love Dallas. Shout out to Scotty D out there at Fago Lovers. You know, Scotty D's nothing but love, and yeah.
And the thing with Tennessee, I've only been there on vacation, but when I'm there in the middle of the woods in one of those cabins, man, I never want to leave. It's just so fucking peaceful.
Bro, I agree with you about Tennessee. Let me tell you something, man. You know, going to I took my kids a couple of years ago, about 4 years ago. We went to Tennessee. We went to the Smoky Mountains, and we went to that whole area right there in not Knoxville. Oh, where was it at? Gatlinburg. There you go. Yeah, very good. And we went there, and you know, although I seen the Trump signs and I seen the Confederate flags and all this, I wasn't letting that spoil the time that I was having with my kids at the Great Smoky Mountains, man.
I see some of y'all in the chat room. You know what? What up to you all, too. But if you guys want to get on the show, drop a question because it is Ask Us Anything. So drop the questions, and those will go higher than the comments.
Or higher than he is.
But
He's not
the
that
Cherry
high,
Pie
man,
shows
because
that-
usually he's smoking out right now.
hey,
You
Rudy, it's
guys know that.
Catherine.
Hey, Catherine, how you doing, girl? What's up? How you doing, baby? What's up?
And then OG says, if I can change, and you can change, we all can change. Rocky Balboa.
OG Wrestling Fan is the man. He's the man. It's true. If I could change, you could change. Y'all don't know nothing about that Rocky 4, I think it was, yeah, against Drago. Yeah. You know, but a lot of people hated Rocky 5, but I love it. Man, he went back to Philly, and man, he had home team with his son, and he had the bitch slap, what's his name? Tommy Morrison, Tommy the Gun.
Oh, Tommy.
And they had that promoter, man, who was like Don King. You know, he was like, touch me, I'll sue.
Yeah.
Man, touch me, I'll sue. Sue me for what? Shit. You gonna get practice.
Shit. So what'd you do last weekend, Rudy? I mean, I know a little bit, but they don't.
What did I do last weekend, man? Oh man, last weekend was a
Weren't you at the football game?
last weekend was a yeah. I was getting to that, but prior to the football game, you know, one of the coolest things that I get to do is I get to hang out with my son every week. You know, Santana. And, you know, he's an amazing kid. Let me also say this, that he has never had a report card that wasn't a marking. Seriously, he just never has. And I love it. He's the only kid I know that wants to go to summer school. I don't know. And I call him my little Chicano nerd because that's what he is, and I'm happy that he's a nerd. Damn it. God, I'm so happy for that. And so anyways, we hung out last week, and it was, like I said, it was his birthday on September 12th, which was on a Monday. And so his mother was like, well, I'm going to do something with him on, you know, the 11th. And I was like, oh, no, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. Because his favorite team and my favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles, are in Detroit, Michigan. And they're going to beat up the Detroit Lions. Yes,
And they did.
Victoria. Yeah, I know it was
And
done by
Cherry
3.
Pie says, fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly all the way to victory. EAGLES, Eagles. All right. Anyways, so I told his mom, I was like, no way, man. There's no way you're getting my boy. I got to take my boy to the Eagles game. So anyways, we went to the Eagles game. Everything was great, blah, 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 blah. And the Eagles won. The Eagles won, and I took Santana years ago to see the Eagles the day before I had open heart surgery, when they were like, look, you are going to die, sir, if you don't go into surgery, which was on a Saturday. And I said, man, there's no way, man. The Eagles are playing Sunday, man. And I promised my boy I'd take him. And thank God I lived, but I might as well should have died, man, because the Lions blew them out that time. But this time it was a different ball game. It was good. Everyone was happy. It was a good time. One thing while it's on my mind, though, Bob, while it's on my mind, this Saturday, there is a back to school. I know it's a few weeks late. It's a back to school end of summer bash. And it's going down in Southwest Detroit this Saturday, and you're going to be there, right?
Yeah, can we get some wrestling?
Man, we got wrestling, man. International big-time wrestling is a part of this beautiful festival, which is absolutely free, by the way. And all of the stars of big-time wrestling are going to start wrestling at 12:30 in the afternoon. And the whole event starts from 12 to 4. And I got to tell you something. It's absolutely free. If you don't already have backpacks, if you don't already have school supplies, if you don't already have, lunch boxes and thermostats and all that stuff, get your family out to this event, which is happening across the street from St. Hedwig in Southwest Detroit, right on Junction, just south of Michigan Avenue. And you'll see the bouncy houses. Yeah, there's free bouncy houses for the kids. There's medical screening that is going down. Man, this is just an all-around great way to kick off fall, Bob.
It's amazing.
Did you tell them the admission?
Admission is free. And
for everyone.
And you should show up and find out why International Big Time Wrestling has been booked over half a dozen festivals this summer. Come find out what the excitement's all about. We have some of the greatest superstars in independent wrestling today, and some of them that are actually on TV too. Shh.
Yeah, they're doing a whole lot of things, man. You know what we do. You know what we do, Bob. We're a platform for those who are on their way up, and for those who are winding their careers down. And I like to think that International Big Time Wrestling is a family organization that me and my son, Carlito, we started back in 2007. And this is when I was wrestling full-time. I came off the road, and I told my ex-wife then, I said, you know what, man, I'm bringing wrestling to the neighborhood, to the ghetto, where kids can't afford to go and see the big stuff at the time, Joe Louis Arena or the Pontiac Silverdome or the Palace. We brought it to the communities where it was an affordable price for adults, and it's always been absolutely free for kids. And I'm proud to say that.
You should see these kids flip out when the wrestling gets set up in their neighborhood. It's just a good feeling. And we are already booking for next year.
We are.
So if you're thinking about even having a party on your block, you qualify.
Dude, we did some birthday parties.
We work with all budgets, you know what I mean? And as long as you're reasonable. But we work with all budgets. So, I mean, if you're rich and you want, some big names there, we'll make it happen. And if you want some of the best independent wrestling you've ever seen, that's what you're going to get no matter what.
That's true. And if you'd like to hit us up right now, you could do that. Take down this number. I'll wait for you to get a pencil. Go ahead.
Did you get it?
Wait, man. Wait. They're going through the drawer right now, man. Slow down.
It's underneath the pad.
Right. You got to hit the drawer, man, like Sanford did, when, so that it'll open up, Oh, okay, I see you got your pencil. Okay. All right. The number is 313-675-3367. I'll say that again for the Mexicans out there. 313-675-3367. See, I'm Mexican. I can say that joke.
say that.
I could say that joke. I could say that joke. If Bob said it, I'd be like, what did he just say? What did he just say? But Bobby is an honorary Chicano. And, yeah, hey, thanks for stealing our idea, Hulu bastards.
It's not the first time one of my great ideas have been stolen, but that's okay. You know what? That just meant it was a good idea.
It was a great idea. And by the way, check out Mo on Hulu. And you'll understand what we're talking about. You can check out those episodes right now, and it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal show. Speaking of phenomenal shows, man, you know, every Tuesday, Bob, I do a thing called Movie Roulette. Ask me, what is Movie Roulette, Rudy?
Rudy, what is Movie Roulette?
Well, there's a local theater here in Detroit. I'm not going to give them a plug because they're a billionaire company and they ain't going to give us a check. However, and plus, I don't want you guys to steal my thunder when I go there. They offer every Tuesday, Bob, any show for any movie, for any show time, $5 admission. So that's pretty good, you know? For any, like, if it's at night, morning, whatever.
You can't get anything for $5.
Okay, wait. That's not enough for you? That's not enough for Bob RoX? Well, how about this? And on that Tuesday, how about free popcorn?
I'm there.
So check it out. So Movie Roulette is, we go to the movie theater. First off, we don't look and see what's playing. That's a no-no when you play Movie Roulette. Don't look at your phone or none of that stuff. No. What you do is you and your homies get together and you say, all right, let's go. You guys ready to go to the movies? And you pick a random time. But you all go into the movie theater on agreement that the very next show that starts, you're going to see. So, last week, my God, man, we went and seen a movie called, Barbarian. So you think of Barbarian, you think of like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger and blah, blah, blah. I didn't know it was about some psychopath from Detroit, of all places. And she was a murderer, and it was crazy. It was a terrible B/movie. And, but that's what you get when you play Movie Roulette. However, excuse me, yesterday, Bob RoX, I went and seen one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my entire life at $5 Movie Roulette. I walked in, I looked, I said, oh man, what is this? When Crawdads Sing, where Crawdads Sing. I said, oh man, first, is this a musical, man? Because I haven't liked a musical since Grease. And I was like, oh no, man, and is it animated? So anyways, I got my ticket. I went and I got my refreshments, my free popcorn, and my soda. Never mind, the soda was $9.
Right.
I got my soda. Yes, Vicky, it's called soda, not pop. Yeah, there's a big debate about that, by the way. We'll touch on that a little bit. But anyways, Where the Crawdads Sing is about this young girl who lives like in the swamps, in the marsh is what they called it, and in Louisiana. And her family leaves her. This is set in the 60s. Her mom leaves. She's mad. Her father's an alcoholic. Anyways, it's a terrible, terrible thing. She winds up fending for herself and living by herself in the marsh. And, dude, let me tell you something, man. I'm a sensitive guy. I really am. And yesterday was an overwhelming, emotional day watching that movie. I haven't cried so much from a movie since I can't even remember, man. It was something. And it was crazy too, because I looked around the theater and people were crying uncontrollably, like, you know, trying to catch their breath and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is nuts. And I got to tell you something, man. $5 roulette movies paid off yesterday. And it paid off in a big way. And I urge you guys out there, man, go check that movie out. I mean, if you want to hear a sweet story, a sweet success story, go check that movie out. I guarantee you, next time we're on here, you're going to be like, man, Rudy, you were so right.
You know, I almost cried at the movies recent. And almost cried twice, actually.
Clerks?
Yeah, I went and saw Clerks 3. The first time...
Wait. First off, you're confusing the viewers and listeners.
I know.
Because they're like, Clerks 3? What are you talking about? You got to explain to them that you were invited through a special screening.
Yeah.
Because it's not out.
A special screening, and my friend, you know, he had tickets, and he wanted to take me. And first off, the first reason I almost cried is, you know, he invited me, you know what I mean? So he was like, I was like, I'm going to get a pop.
What the hell's pop, man?
Anyway.
Getting slapped in the mouth or something?
Anyway, and so he goes, you mind grabbing me one? Thinking, yeah, he bought my tickets. So
yeah, why not? Yeah.
Why not? They were $6.57 a piece. I was like, damn, am I at the strip club? Like,
oh my God.
$7 for a fountain pop?
Man.
So anyway.
Did you get a free refill?
Yeah, it was free refills.
Oh man, I would have been drinking that shit all. I would have been drinking $17 worth of soda.
I must have had me about 15 Dr. Pepper. So the movie, very funny movie, but it's very nostalgic if you've watched the first. It does touch a little bit on the Clerks 2 shit, but really this is like almost a direct sequel for the first one.
Really?
You know, and really the only thing that
is Rosario Dawson in it?
Yes.
Oh,
she's the only element from the second one that really matters. You know, they mentioned the restaurant a little bit, but really this movie is just solely, you know, the jokes and the plots and everything are an extension of the first movie.
So this is obviously one of Kevin Smith's good comedies. How did it make you sad?
Yeah.
Where did it tug at your emotions, if you will?
Well, there's a couple heart attacks in the movie, and I'm not going to tell you, you know, who lives and who dies, but not everyone makes it. Right. And the movie's just, it's just a really reflective movie, and you get caught up in these characters and their emotion for each other, and it's really sad, you know, and but it's crazy, you know, you're talking earlier about the open heart surgery, and it made me think of that movie, because, you know, the dude has a heart attack, and they're like, we're about to do surgery, and just let you know, most people die, but hopefully you're one of the 20% that don't.
I did die twice on the table. Twice. Not once, but twice. But, the Clerks 3, would you give it a thumbs up?
I would give it a thumbs up. Don't be one of those dummies that's never seen Clerks and just try watching it. But if you've watched the other movies or even just the first Clerks, you're gonna be really happy when you watch it. Just it's a good like wrapping up of characters.
Is it in black and white?
No, it is not. But it should have been.
It should have been. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I know one guy would be ecstatic if it was in black and white. And he's the war chief, of course. We're talking about Mike Shepard, who, by the way, has dropped some more articles on RoX-TV News.
Dude, so many articles that we're having to reconstruct the website to basically put categories in so his articles don't get buried by his articles.
Wow.
You know, he's putting out articles so fast that one that would be relevant for months, you only see it for a week on the website before it's buried under 10 more articles. So we're revamping the category system on the top of the website so people can find their favorite articles.
That's nice, man. That's awesome. One other thing that we're doing here at RoX-TV is that we are going to be on location. You'll be seeing us at several different businesses throughout the Midwest, not just in the Detroit area. If there's a place, a business that you own that you would like for us to come visit and do a story on, we're mostly looking for stories of positivity and for those who have triumphed. And it doesn't matter if you own a shoe shine stand, or if you own $1 million company. We'll come out and talk to you. Or if you're just a babysitter, or if you're just someone who just shows love to your community, let us know your story. We are going to be filming throughout all fall because we have a bomb-ass winter of programming that you're gonna die when you see.
And I hate to differ from you a little bit, and I do want those messages of positivity, but I really do feel like if you're a business organization out there and you're getting screwed over by the man, give us a call. We'll help you put some attention on that.
We'll definitely help you put some attention on it, and we'll also, direct you in the right place to get help.
To
hopefully
resolve your issues.
Right.
But there, we
know people.
In the business world, there's a lot of shady stuff that happens.
It's true.
And you know what? If you're good people, we'll have your back.
Being in the music business for 30 plus years and rolling with some of the people that I've rolled with and I got to tell you something, man. There's nothing more dirty than the entertainment business, man. It's a dirty, dirty, dirty place to be. However, I wouldn't change my history for anything.
There's a lot of buzz around the office and around places about the things going on this fall, man. And we're going to be there for it all. And, a lot of people are talking about ICP and Hollow Wicked. But for me, it's this Esham concert coming to Harpo's.
Esham and Awesome Dre and DJ Los and Mastermind. Come on, man.
If you're a Detroit hip-hop fanatic, if you're like those guys we seen waiting in line with a record to get signed, come to Harpo's, because you know what? These amazing Detroit legends, they're not going to be hard to reach there. They're going to be at their merch booths. They're going to be hanging out. And you can get your shit signed. You can come ask some questions.
And let me, I've said this a million times in my lifetime, including in my book, My Life, the Funhouse, the Rudy Hill story, available at Amazon.com right now, published by RoX-TV. I said it a million times and I'll say it a million more times, man. If there were no Esham, you can forget that there'd ever be a Kid Rock or there would ever be an Insane Clown Posse, or God forbid there would never be a Eminem.
There wouldn't be. And these major artists that he mentioned, on their most humble days, they'll probably agree with you completely.
Absolutely. One of the cool things is I was looking back on Esham's history, and I Googled him, and in Eminem's first interview with Rolling Stone magazine, they said, what type of music are you? What is this? And he said, I'm a cross between Ozzy Osbourne and Esham. Let's face it, man. I hate Eminem. I hate him. I hate Eminem. But let's face it, let's be real. If we're going to be real, if we're going to be frank with one another, Eminem is the biggest rapper ever in the history of hip-hop.
This might get a chuckle out of you. On random, my radio brought up a Bizarre song I really hadn't heard. Bizarre, for those who don't know, is part of a group, D12, who is with Eminem.
Yeah.
And this lyric, he says he's a mix of Violent J and Rod Carew. I swear, they had me laughing out loud.
Oh my goodness, that is so awesome. That is so great. Hey, if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to do it right now. Do it right now. Hit us up right now in the comment section, and we'll answer and we will acknowledge any one of your questions. And by the way, if you would like to ever help and ever like to donate to keep this train rolling, it's very simple. Go to our Cash App, which is the $ROXXXTV, and drop us a little something. We'd appreciate it.
And if you're saying, I don't have Cash App, well, you can go to RoX-TV.com at the XXX spelling or the 1X spelling. And under our store, there is a link to donate. You can specify the amount and put in your credit card.
Right, and say, hey, this one goes to Rudy.
Beers on me, guys.
Hey, check it out. We're going to come right back. We're going to take a brief time out. Don't you dare go nowhere. This is Ask Us Anything. He's Bobby RoX. I'm Rudy Hill. Don't you dare go nowhere. We'll be right back shortly.
Here's a quick preview of this week's episode of Wrestling Real Talk, Dusty Rhodes.
Some of them actors, you come out here and get this fat woman and come and jump on it. I'm here all night long taking care of business.
Welcome back to another edition of Wrestling Real Talk. I'm Rude Boy, and this is my friend A.T. Huck, and collectively we have over 60 years in the professional wrestling game, and right here on this program, we break down and we dissect some of the greats in all of professional wrestling, and today is no exception. His swagger, his promos, the way he dressed, the way he acts. He's a former NWA World's Champion. He's a former NWA Tag Team Champion, former six-man Tag Team Champion, former United States World's Champion. Of course, I'm talking about the American Dream, the son of the plumber, Dusty Rhodes.
The dream will win.
Dusty Rhodes.
Oh my God, when you talk about Dusty Rhodes, like you said, you're talking about, in my opinion, one of the best wrestlers in the history of professional wrestling.
You said that about Flair once.
I said one of. I didn't say the.
Okay.
You know, that's the difference. My first recollection of Dusty Rhodes was right here in Detroit.
Starting back with Dusty Rhodes, let's just call it like it is. Like so many Adonises back then.
Mm-hmm.
Here was a guy who was kind of a fat guy who just, but he had that swagger and he had the way of captivating the audience.
He had charisma.
Yes.
Which a lot of times is more important than being able to put on all the holds.
Yes.
You know, if you can talk people into the arena, that's what Dusty Rhodes could do. He could talk people into the arena. But by no means was Dusty Rhodes a horrible wrestler.
Right.
You know, Dusty Rhodes took those huge big bumps and he was fast and all over the place in the ring when he was younger like that.
Right.
You know, up in even later years, Dusty Rhodes had a lot of speed.
Yeah.
You know, but he wasn't the one who was doing moonsaults and going over the, you know, diving out of the ring and all that.
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes was a smart wrestler.
Right.
You know, he knew what he could do and he knew what he couldn't do.
We just talked about how he could talk people into an arena.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the best promo man in wrestling?
Oh, wow. I'd say he's up there as one of the best. You know, him and Ric Flair are, you know, two of the best, you know, along with Terry Funk. You know, is a great promo man.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, a lot of people had different styles.
Yeah.
You know, I think Randy Savage was a great promo. His was different than Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes told a story in his promos, you know. Hard Times. Everybody talks about Hard Times, the Hard Times promo.
Hard times, so Dusty Rhodes and Burbler.
You know, Dusty Rhodes knew how to tell that story.
Oh, absolutely.
He was a great storyteller.
We talked about in past episodes of wrestlers who make wrestlers. And Dusty Rhodes, dare I say, made a guy like Nikita Koloff, made a guy like, I mean, even as a tag team, Magnum. You know, once you got that stamp of approval from Dusty Rhodes, you were elevated to another level.
There's speculation and opinion that Dusty Rhodes tried to latch on to the hot star. Okay. Nikita Koloff was hot.
Yeah.
You know, Magnum TA was hot.
Yeah.
The Road Warriors were hot. And Dusty Rhodes kind of put himself with them.
Gotcha.
You know, so in a sense, he was helping get them over, but he was also getting himself over. You know, they were rising stars.
Sure.
And I guess he thought he was helping them, but it was also keeping Dusty in that spotlight, because he wasn't necessarily getting the world title shots at that time.
Right.
You know, they were off and on.
Right. Do you think Vince was ribbing Dusty with the polka dots and everything when he came in with that, and making him really look like a kind of a goof, if you will? I mean, Dusty went along with it, and he went along with it great, and he had Sapphire and the whole 9 yards. But did that, I mean, for me as a fan, as someone who loved Dusty Rhodes, it diminished everything that I was used to seeing him in those bloody battles with the Sheik at Kobo, and him and Flair in the cage, and you know. What are your thoughts on that era with Dusty?
You know, I don't think Dusty was forced into doing any of that.
Yeah.
I think Vince, you know, may have come to him. I don't know who came up with that idea. We say Vince.
Right.
But
well,
Dusty,
he's the end all.
Yeah, but Dusty made it work.
Yeah, he did.
He made it work.
Yeah.
You know, Dusty was, you know, at one point he used to.
Boom, and we're back. Hey everyone, how you doing? And that was our preview of the new Wrestling Real Talk with Rudy and AT Huck. This episode was Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, the son of the plumber.
He is the son of the plumber, and he's also the father of two great wrestlers, and they're, of course, Cody Rhodes and Goldust. You can learn more about that by checking out this installment of Wrestling Real Talk.
It's going to be out every Monday at 6 p.m. with new episodes about different wrestlers. Some you know, some you might barely remember.
That's right. So, how's everybody doing in the chat room over there, man?
Well, I'm thinking Eddie's broke. He says, I got tickets to Shaggy Palcast, both Bloody Sunday shows, and Hollow Wicked. You must be broke, Eddie.
Yeah, man. God, you're hurting, bud. Jeez. Hopefully you can have a couple bucks left over to buy some kids some hats and gloves for Rude Boy's birthday bash.
Anya's asked a couple times about Cruising the Barrio. It is still scheduled for October 7th. And we're going to have a few surprises. Yes, a few surprises for you. But
October 7th, right?
It is going to be back. And even though it is a radio show, there might be a little live video at some point that night. Just to celebrate.
No.
For like 1 minute.
No. Man, the Cruising Studios are like Las Vegas. So you don't talk about what happens in the Cruising Studios.
So Melissa wants to know, Rudy.
Yes.
Or we can both answer. She says, what's your favorite sex position or positions?
With him?
You trying to kill me?
You're gonna answer that. Or it's
your answer. You know what? I'm gonna bow out of this one. This one's for Rudy. I don't want it to get confused.
What's the favorite what?
Sex position.
Oh no! Oh shit! Well, anyone I'm in. Look, man, I promised when we did this podcast, Bob,
you'd answer
that I would answer anything. And damn, girl, you know I like it doggy style. Yeah. God, what a great question.
So if you want to be one of our true supporters, take this feed and share it on your social media. Invite your friends to watch. We're answering all questions.
You heard that. I love that. Was a great question, though.
It really was. Definitely push the border of ask us anything.
That's true, and that's the beauty of this program is that we answer anything. Oh,
Thank you.
There we got the blunt wrap came in on Amazon. Was that Amazon that dropped it off?
It was DoorDash.
It was DoorDash. DoorDash dropped off a blunt. So now you know the show's about to get really, really good. Anyways, though, seriously, on the real, if there's anything that you'd like to talk to us about, I don't give a fuck because I'm ready to tell you what I got to tell you. Hello.
If you're in the chat room, why don't you answer Melissa's question? What's your favorite sex position?
Well, you didn't answer it.
Well,
oh.
I think that Ludacris said it. Face down, ass up. That's the way I like to fuck.
What you know about Ludacris, damn it? Shit. Man, so you know we're here every other Wednesday, and we're always here, and we're always just showing love and showing respect to everybody. And I want to show some love to my homeboy in Toledo, Ohio, DJ Dankish, who next Friday night, you can come out and you can meet the guys on this show because we're going to be at the Toledo
Main Street Bar and Grill.
Main Street.
And we're going to be getting down to some electronic music. It's going to be wild.
I'm going to be the high dude in the corner. That's what I'm going to be doing.
So drop your questions in the chat. We're answering anything. Push the limits. Ask it all.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Melissa wasn't. Ooh.
So what else than DJ Dankish? What's coming up? And you know, the block party. We've discussed those two things. What else is coming up in October?
Man, October is a busy month. We're going to be in Chillicothe. Myself and Congo Kong, you'll be able to get your pictures with both of us, both former JCW world champions. It's a rare opportunity to get a photo with both of us at one time with the belt. And we're excited about that. We're going to be there in Chillicothe, Ohio on October 15th. And on the 29th, I'm going to be at my boy Skylar's birthday bash, but you can't come to it because you have to have an invitation.
Halloween's on a Monday this year.
It is.
You know, and wonder how the weather will be. I remember growing up, I hated it when it rained on Halloween, and it often did.
Man, I didn't give a shit. I was getting free candy. Man, I was out till 12 o'clock at night, man, knocking on people's doors. They was like, what the fuck is this kid doing on the porch with no costume on? But just I had a pillowcase, and it was soaked too, man. It would be soaked.
Well, that's a good thing about a pillowcase. You know, it can survive a little wetting.
It's true. It's true. I want to shout out right now to all of my homeboys that are listening and that are, well, sometimes watching, but they're definitely listening because they're working right now, and they're working over at Evie's Tamales. They're in the kitchen right now, and they said they got us on, and they're excited, man, that Ask Anything is going down, but of course they're working, so they can't do nothing. But anyways, hey, man, thank you, Vatos, for listening, man. That means a lot to us. We got to get down to Evie's again, bro.
You know, I don't think they wanted me back. I ate too much. You know?
Oh, dude, man, that place, they love you there, Bob, man. You got your picture on the wall for the Hall of Fame, man. He's got a big S on his shirt.
42 tamales in just a short amount of time.
Only 42. What? This guy. That's why we call him Skinny Lee.
Oh, man. So, movie roulette. That is something I want to participate in the near future. And I'm actually going to be doing a home version with my girlfriend who hasn't seen none of the classics. And I told her I don't even know how to decide. So I'm going to put all these movies she hasn't seen, write them down on little pieces of paper.
Now, wait a minute, Bob. Now, you and your girlfriend, you guys talked before we got on the air. And I overheard you guys talking, and I couldn't help but to jump in when she was like, yeah, I've never seen blah, 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 Animal House. I was like, what? You never seen Animal? What?
The conversation started like this. We're watching this show on Netflix called Disjointed. It's about a dispensary. And there's this like little chunky chick on there, and she's fucking hilarious. And she reminds me of like a mix between Chris Farley and John Belushi. And
Is she hot?
No, but she's.
Why is she not hot?
Both of those dudes are ugly. That's what I'm saying, but they're fucking hilarious.
Wait a minute. What's it called?
Disjointed.
Disjointed.
It's about a dispensary. But, so I say this to her, you know, I was like, she reminds me of Chris Farley or John Belushi. And she goes, who?
Whoa. What?
Yeah, I actually found this girl under.
Wait a minute, man. You didn't ask her to leave your premises after hearing that?
I did, but then I had to go pick her up a few hours later.
Sorry. John Belushi? You don't know John? You're going to have to leave. I'm sorry. You're going to have to call it a night. It's cool. Hey, we had our thing. Farley? It was fun. Chris Farley? Tommy Boy?
Dude.
The man by the river?
You're going to be living in a van down by the river.
I love Chris Farley. There's a show on Vice TV. It's called The Dark Side of Comedy, and they do a beautiful biography about Chris Farley. And man, what a troubled soul he was. He really was, man. And a lot of those comedians are like that, bro. You know, I mean, everyone wondered why Robin Williams took his own life, man. Because he was a tortured soul, man. Depression is real.
Energy is real. And Robin Williams was somebody who gave everybody else his energy and left himself very little left.
I agree with that. I do. I really agree with that.
So Eddie's got a good idea. He says roll some dice, go to Ford, Wyoming, and watch whatever screen you rolled.
Oh, that's a great idea. Dude, Eddie, man, that's a great idea, man. Oh, I'm gonna have to do that, man. Who wants to go to Fort Wyoming with me and do it? Let's just take that dice and roll it and go see whatever's playing, man. I love that. That's a great idea, man. You know, and like soon, besides seeing the movie that I seen yesterday, the next movie that was coming on 5 minutes after that was DC Super Pets, which I never seen, and I was like, damn, man, if I was high, I'd watch this, man. I dig it, you know. But hopefully, maybe next week, man, I'll roll that dice and I'll get to go see it.
Man, I might get a little hate for this, but you know, when all the superhero movies started popping up, at first, you know, I was geeked like everyone else, but when they started popping up, like, I mean, there's just so many of these superhero
You ain't
movies.
getting no hate from me, Bob.
I stopped trying to even keep up. I watched when they redid Superman. I watched the Spider-Man in the early 2000s. I watched the X-Men, but then it was like it hit a certain year and they were coming out with 20 superhero movies a year.
Yeah, it's true, man.
Obscure superheroes, and I just don't follow it anymore.
It's weird. I pick and choose the superhero movies I see now because I'm like you said, it's oversaturated. And I'm really not interested in like I'm not that comic book nerd that knows that much about it like my co-host A.T. Huck is. You know, he loves the comic books. In fact, this guy sells comic books on eBay for thousands of dollars.
Maybe
he came into the studio one night. He was like, "Yeah, I just sold this comic book for $600." I was like, "That raggedy ass piece of shit."
Maybe
600. What's that?
Maybe he can help me sell mine.
Or maybe I'll give you $5 each, and then me and him will sell them.
Maybe if we ever get that flea market off the ground.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to your boy over at Greenlawn.
Oh yeah, Red Giant,
Ginger Giant.
You know.
Dude, don't ever lose an Undertaker card, bro.
I'm not going to name any names, but if this person we're talking about is literally the definition of that phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
God, you're so
We
right.
gave that guy so many great ideas, and he did nothing with them.
No way. He was like, "No, I got my ways are set. I'm busy. I gotta wash off this LJN toy because it's gonna make me $1 million." That's bad energy. It's bad energy. Hey man, send some good energy to the Ginger Giant. Send some because you know what? We're all about positivity here, baby. You ain't stealing our thunder. You ain't stealing our shine, man. We're rolling with Jesus up in this piece. What? What's up, Bob? You sleeping?
No, I'm reading the comments. Whoa.
Uh-oh. What the comments saying?
Rudy, when are you going to let me take you out and show you what I can do? You already know who that one's from.
I don't know who that one's from.
Let's book a flight to Cali.
What can you do, girl? What can you do? Oh my goodness, man! Now this just turned into love lines.
If you have you know a relationship question, call it in.
Yeah, you ain't got to call it in. You got to text it in.
We're gonna send a bill.
Hey, look, I've been in love, I've been in lust, and life is really weird, man, when you can distinguish lust and love. When you can distinguish those two things, then you understand life. But until then, you're caught up in this web of both love and lust. And I'm only saying this from a man who knows himself. But to know the difference between love and lust is one of the most amazing things in the world. Now, who do I send the bill to for that knowledge I just kicked?
That's what I'm saying. And you say just text it in, but I feel like if we were going to ever touch on relationship issues, we got to let people call in.
You know what, man? My friend, my homeboy, man, who I've known for 17 years, he just came out of the closet a few days ago. And he hit me up personally.
How did you react to
How did I react? I was like, dude, you didn't think we didn't know? I mean, really? I was like, and you're telling me what kind of story here? Look, you were my homeboy when you claim to be heterosexual. You're my homeboy when you're homosexual. I don't care. That is between you and Jesus and has nothing to do with Rudy Hill. You're my boy. And you'll always be my boy. And I'm not going to say your name, but I know you're watching. Dude, you'll always be my fucking boy. Don't forget that shit.
Come on, let's get that final wave of questions in here. Don't hold back. It is getting towards that time of the day, and we need more questions.
I was tripping out this motherfucker, man, though. For real, when he told me, I was like, damn, man, you believe this shit? This guy told me he's gay, and he hasn't even hit on me once. What the fuck? Not once.
You know.
Bastard.
He had you in the friend zone.
Hey. That's cool. He is my friend. He is my homie. And then that brings me to a question that was proposed to me. What if, and I'm going to ask you this, Bob. What if one of your children, when they got much older, came to you and said, you know what, Dad, I think I'm homosexual? What is your rebuttal?
I think most parents have had that thought cross their mind. You have a kid, you know, and kids do peculiar things. So sometimes you're going to see your kid do something peculiar, and the thought's going to run through your mind, what if they end up, you know, being gay?
Right.
And I am on the side of people who are going to try to react positively.
Yeah.
No matter what. And I mean, I know some parents want to be like, no, you're going through some phase or whatever. Even if they were. If you react in a negative way, you're going to burn something into their brain that they're going to remember forever.
That's true, man.
And if you react in a positive way, you know, you never know how it could go. And I'm not saying that people are wrong about their sexuality, but I've met a lot of lesbians who later had families and husbands.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? People are allowed to make that choice. That's the beauty of being in a free country.
You know, let me ask you this too, Bob. Now that we're on this, you know, freedom and sexuality and whatnot, what are your views? And I'm just asking you your opinion, your views, and there's no right or wrong answer to this anyway, by the way. What are your views on the overturning of Roe versus Wade, the abortion thing?
I believe that certain things should be personal choice. I do. I really do. You know, and I don't think there should be a law forbidding something that sometimes is a necessity, even as a hard choice. And in my personal past, and the person I was with, we had to make the choice because the person was highly, it was going to go bad. And the previous one had almost killed her. And this was going to be bad.
She was underage?
Different story. No, it was a medical thing.
No, I got you.
Yeah, but it was still a tough decision.
Well, yeah,
know?
Of course.
Because they tell you, you know, you want to roll the dice,
right?
Or do you want to go with the guarantee? And
right. No, that is a tough choice, Bob.
You know, and
for anyone.
In our case, the kids that were already here had to take precedent over the risk of losing.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
That was the hardest shit ever. So y'all got something real on this show from me.
No, and I respect what you say. And you know, for me personally, when it comes to abortion rights, and let me say this. Let me say this first and foremost, that I do not believe in abortion myself. I don't condone that myself. I don't. However, like you said, in certain instances and certain things that's happened in the world or in that person's life, or if it's life or death, you're damn right, man. You're damn right. You have the right to choose what you want to do. Now, what I don't agree with is using abortion as contraception.
Right. I get what you're saying.
Because I've known many women who've had multiple abortions, and it's like, dude, I mean, come on, man. You know, at some point, it's like, all right, man, buy a box of fucking condoms.
And if they would have passed a law that said you could have one non-medical abortion, you know, I think people wouldn't have freaked as much, you know?
Right.
You know,
but like I said, and I always say this, and I mean this, you have one maker that you have to see and be judged by. It sure isn't us voters and politicians or none of that shit. Not only do you have to deal with your maker, but you have to deal with yourself. And I'm sure that's not an easy task.
And then those two are one. You know
right.
what I mean? And in most beliefs, you know, they say that, you know, God is in us. So, you know, you have to live with it. And I just don't know how some of those bitches do.
I know, man. They be tripping, man. Shit.
But, you know, I just think that they shouldn't meddle with things that have already been settled on. You know?
Well, that's why I want to say this. I want to say this to all you guys out there, man. You know, there's some primaries coming up. You may not think that your voice doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter, especially to yous out there, the people of color that are watching this program right now, the people, you know, of immigrants. Man, people died for you to have that right to use your right to vote. So don't do it in vain, man. Don't leave it without doing it for at least those who risk their lives for you. I mean, what does it take? 5 minutes? I know, because I do it every single voting time.
And it might sound cliche, but in 2018, we legalized marijuana in Michigan. And I don't just say that for the fun part of it, but I say that for the fact that a man like this can smoke some weed to relax and not have to worry about some corrupt cop trying to throw him in jail, you know, because he can.
Exactly.
And now he can't because the weed and the beer are equal. 21 and up.
It's true. As long as it's controlled, then it shouldn't be a bad thing, you know. It was crazy because my Santana, you know, just up until recently, he never seen me smoke, you know, and he was like, "Oh wow, Dad, man, you smoke marijuana?" I said, "Yeah." And then I was like, so what do you feel about that? And he was like, well, I'd rather you do that than take the pills. Because he knows that his father had, you know, open heart surgery, and I live with chronic pain. But even a 11-year-old boy knows that it's not really that bad as long as it's not abused. Is that a good analogy?
It all depends on the person you are on it. If you need it, if you suffer from anxiety,
we're having an earthquake.
If you suffer from anxiety, you know, it can make you a better person for your spouse or your children because you calm down and get to be more you. But there's certain people out there that get high and act a fool, and it's not for them, and those people shouldn't do it.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
With alcohol.
Exactly. I mean, I was just about to say the same thing. Anything going on in the chat room that we can talk about?
We can talk about it all.
Where's those good questions like Melissa threw out? Wow. Man, it turned into a porno for like 12 seconds.
Anya says, my daughter came out bisexual and I support her. Love is love.
That's great, man.
And Melissa wants to go to the drive-in.
Ooh-wee. I love the drive-in, and I love Eddie's idea, man. Get that dice and roll it, and you know, we ain't gonna be watching the movie anyway.
Eddie says, you know,
man, you all right, dude? You drunk?
No.
This guy's fucked up already.
The truth is, my foot fell asleep, so I had to stand up.
How could you tell all that weed you smoked?
But Eddie says he can love him, but he doesn't support it. He's not going to be hanging any rainbow flags. You know what, Eddie, if you have a child and they're gay and you support them, that's all you got to do, really. That's 10 times more than a lot of these parents did in the last 30 years. You don't got to hang a rainbow flag.
He's right.
Them. You just got to support them.
Right, man. I mean, it's like, being the support group behind that is all that they need. You don't need to... I don't fly a heterosexual flag in front of my house, but I mean, it is what it is, you know, and that's another thing. Now you've opened up a can of worms, Eddie, and this I'll probably piss off a lot of people, but this is just Rudy Hill's views and nobody else's. If you're gay and you want to be treated equal, then be treated equal, damn it. So when someone has something to say to you, you can't pull that card because you want to be treated equal.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
No special treatment. Just like they try to tell us we're all special. Being gay doesn't make you special. You know, it just makes you who you are.
Right. It's just who you are. It doesn't put you on a platform or nothing, you know.
No.
They tried to cancel my boy Dave Chappelle over that because he was like, "Look, man, you wanna be equal? Well, then I'm gonna treat you like I treat my homies. I'm gonna treat you the same way." And so they tried to cancel Dave Chappelle, man. I love Dave Chappelle.
He's funny.
I do. I love Dave Chappelle, man. I do. And his comedy is smart and something to think about, much like D.L. Hughley, who's another comic that a lot of people don't like because of his views. Because he's like, hey, man, fuck you, man, you know. And he's the first one to say, hey, look, you want to be treated equal as a gay person? My daughter is gay, and this is how she's treated as equal. And they didn't like that either. Again, loving those, and like I said, my homeboy just came out, you know, and I told him, look, bro, I love you, man. I love you. That's it. I'm still mad he didn't hit on me, but the motherfucker, shit.
So Eddie wants to know some freaky tales from the road. Spill it, Rudy.
Oh shit, no, Eddie. Eddie, man, shit, man.
You don't have to name no names, but tell us some shit you.
No, I could tell you that.
Tell us something you've seen.
No, I could tell you what I've seen and what I've done. what I've done. Like, I mean, I was just a kid from Southwest Detroit, West Verner Avenue, baby. Getting on $1 million tour bus for the first time in my life. Listen to this. At 22 years old, going across country. Don't you think I wasn't having some fun out there in this world? I mean, look, straight up, man. The first threesome I ever had was on that first tour. And let me tell you something. It lasted so long. It lasted all of 3 minutes. Because I was like, whoa, this shit only happens in the movies. And there was that. And then there was also, and look, for those of you who are being offended by this, we'll see you next time right here on Ask Rudy Anything. But for those of you who want to know the real, like, you know, Carlito started going out on the road. And my son Rudy used to go out on the road. And my son Robert used to go out on the road. And Santonio, all my boys went out on the road at some point in their lives. And I remember, particularly in Denver, Colorado, there was this hot chick. She was like, oh, rude boy, I gotta have you. And I said, oh, okay. And she was like, but could you do me just one favor? I was like, you go ahead, tell me, baby. And she was like, can I have Rudy too at the same time? I was like, no.
Taking him to Paris.
No, I was like, no, honey, I can't do that. I cannot do that. And, yeah, so there's some crazy shit that goes on out there. But that shit gets played out quick, believe it or not, man. Before you know it, you're like,
homesick.
Damn. Not homesick, but you're like, damn, I'm here in I'm in South Carolina, or I'm in South Dakota, man. I want to go check out, you know, I want to go check out the sights. I want to go check out Mount Rushmore. I want to see it, you know. And you know, then you stop thinking about, you know, pussy and all that stuff.
Yeah, and this is not really anything freaky, but it is about what you're saying. You know, I know for a fact that out on a few tours, you know, ICP took you guys to see some shit. Took you guys to some cool places.
Dude, let me tell you this, man. Going to Amsterdam for the first time in my life was with Insane Clown Posse, and we went, and the guy who was showing us around, the guy from Holland, his name was Pierre. I loved him. He was awesome, man. And I was like, Pierre, why are all these fucking supermodels sitting in their windows of their apartments? And he was like, oh, Rudy, those are prostitutes. I was like, what? What? I only know about the prostitutes on Cass Corridor in downtown Detroit.
They don't look like that.
No, they don't. No, these chicks looked like supermodels. And he was like, yeah, all you got to do is, you know, if you want to get that hookup, just go, you know, go to the window and, you know, you guys work out the price and everything. Every prostitute in Holland, in Amsterdam, has to be licensed and tested every other day.
Dang.
And yeah, and they do the super condom use and all of that stuff. That still didn't, you know, stop me from losing all my money out there.
And you didn't smoke weed back then, right?
I didn't smoke weed.
That was like the big thing with the
yes, because you would go to a bar, and you know, I'd go in there and I'd say, yeah, can I get a Heineken? And they're like, well, they'll serve beer in here. This is a bar. I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking bar. But any kind of marijuana you wanted, they had. It was like a menu at McDonald's, man. And again, I didn't smoke back then, so I was like, oh, man, this sucks. Yeah. So I guess I'll go get sex. I mean,
well, I would have been at the bar getting stoned.
One of the good movies that I've ever seen in my life, and you should probably show your girlfriend, it's called Cheech and Chong's Still Smoking. Mm-hmm. And it was filmed in Holland, in Amsterdam. And they're in those bars, and they're in those clubs and stuff, and they touch about the prostitution and everything. It's a phenomenal movie, man.
Very, very, very funny movie.
Yes.
Which one? You know, this is weird. Like, my mom took me to see this when I was younger. I don't even know why, but because, you know,
because your mom's fucking cool.
Right,
That's why. What do you mean, why?
But which movie was Cheech in where he gets all high and starts talking to this fish in the sewer? And, God, it's a real obscure one.
It's real fucking obscure because I don't know what you're talking about, bro. And I've seen every one of them motherfucking movies, man.
Now I'm about
you
to
sure you ain't talking
you.
about Jim Carrey or some shit?
No, it's not Jim Carrey. It's Cheech. No Chong. There's no Chong.
Well, Cheech only did one movie without Chong, and that was Born in East L.A.
It's not true. I think he did another one.
No, man.
And I'm going to show you after this episode.
You're going to show me? Well, let's see if the brainiacs out there know about it. You know who are in the chat room. Does anyone know of a movie that Cheech Marin did without Chong that was like a comedy?
Oh, yeah.
I know he was in a bunch of comedies, but like, you know.
Right, a solo movie. Like,
right.
He's the star.
He was the star in Born in East L.A. Orale!
You know, and I don't think it was that because you would remember the scene.
I would remember that scene. You know? I mean, you talk about a fish and him talking to a fish.
You're going to be watching whatever it is I tell you in a second.
Yeah, I know I am. I'm going to apologize to you publicly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you back your Chicano card.
Yay. Let's see.
So anyways, I want to...
Rude Awakening. That's it.
That's a movie? He stars in it. Yeah. He's the star.
Yeah. In the 1960s, two hippies go off into the jungle to evade the FBI. When they come back to New York in the 1980s, their fellow hippie friends have become rich yuppies. And he is the star. He plays Jesus Montoya.
Jesus, bro. Jesus. Hey, I apologize. I got to watch it, man.
Yeah.
I got to watch it. Is it any good?
Well, I saw it at... hold on.
When you at the Fort Wyoming drive?
I was 7 years old. My mom took me to this movie. But...
Hey, man, I remember the movie I seen when I was 7 years old, man. It was called Saturday Night Fever, man.
Oh, that's a good one.
I did. No, not really. No, not really. I hate that movie. I didn't hate it when I was young because I didn't understand it, but as a grown adult and the racism that's in that movie and the sexism of like
I've only seen it
homophobic,
once.
I'm like, whoa, this is too much for me, man. And I sat down to watch it with my son, and I was like, no, bro, you can't watch this shit, bro. You can't watch this.
Go watch the old
and
Bad
fuck
News.
you, John Travolta, you Scientologist.
Go watch the old Bad News Bears, man.
Oh, man.
It's ridiculous. You
have
so many racial slurs in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Do you see the one where they went to Japan, man?
And that's a kid's movie.
Right, right. That was Walter Matthau back then, yeah. The Bad News Bears. Yeah, you know, I mean, that's just how life was back then, you know. And it's really weird, man, because I know even family members that would use racial slurs and shit back then, and now they're all like, yo, you can't say that. And I was like, motherfucker, I remember what you were saying. Shit, I seen you. Shit. And but it's cool that things are changing, but you know, sometimes change is kind of weird, you know. Does that make any sense? I mean, because we've all experienced something that made us uncomfortable.
Change is horrible sometimes.
Touche. Touche, my brother, touche.
They want to know how DJ Carlito's doing. We're going to have to drag him on one of these episodes one of these days.
Well, it's real simple. If you'd like to see how DJ Carlito's doing, get your ass down to Toledo, Ohio at the Main Street Bar on Friday, September 30th, because we all going to be there, and we all going to be there, and we all going to be there representing and showing love to the great DJ Dankish. And let me tell you something. I've been around royalty when it comes to DJs. And I put Dankish right up there because he's that fucking good.
And you know what? We will be on site accepting Modelo donations.
It's true. It's true. Hey, there's not a Modelo that I'm going to turn away. Eddie, you better bring your ass down there and come hang out with us. I know you don't have a problem going to Toledo.
Toledo, it's going to be a party next Friday. I'll be bringing my girlfriend, and we'll be there with bells on. You know.
I'll be bringing myself.
Electronic bells.
Hey, ladies, I'll be bringing myself.
Well, you know you can always ride with us.
Man, I'm riding with the fellas, man. I'm riding with the fellas. I'm riding with Southwest Drew. I'm riding with DJ Carlito. I'm riding with the War Chief, damn it. You can go over there and sit in the girlfriend section. We're going to be over here with the fellas over here with this is the boys' night out circle right here. We have a little boys' night out circle.
Well, I'm not the one who usually messes that up.
Touche. What the fuck? Man, I just got a beer shower up in this bitch, man. What is going on?
Don't make me laugh when I'm in the middle of drinking.
So, anyways, last minutes, comments, concerns, all that good stuff, because we're about to get out of here. I got to go take a shower now.
Serious question.
Uh-oh.
How's your daughter doing with her battle?
Man, my daughter is doing so great. Let me tell you something. For those of you out there who don't know, my daughter was diagnosed with she had brain cancer, and it was really aggressive and it was really bad. And you know what? She went and she had surgery. She had reconstructive surgery on her skull afterwards, and she has been doing the chemo. She was doing the chemo. And I'm proud to say and happy to say that my daughter's cancer-free, man, today, September 21st, 2022.
And I attribute some of that to that positive energy. We had a lot of positive energy going out for her.
Oh, man, that's what we did. And even celebrating together at the party, man, everybody getting together and smiling and laughing and just manifesting that positive energy that you speak of, Bob.
There was a lot of people dancing.
Yeah, oh my God, and smiles everywhere. Smiles from ear to ear. Let me tell you something. That was called, what was that? What did we call that? Kick cancer's ass?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're doing another one this year. Thank God it's not for my daughter, but it's for someone special. And we're going to let you guys know when and where this is going to take place, and it's going to be our second annual Kick Cancer's Ass Party.
You're going to come dance on cancer.
That's right.
And, well, mostly people just praising us in the room. No more real
Thank
fresh
you.
questions. They asked about Carlito. You told them what to do.
No, yeah, Carlito sends his love. He really does. Carlito's working on a project that's really going to blow everybody's minds. I'm real proud of him, and you'll see soon.
Melissa wants to know, what's the best concert you've ever seen taking Prince off the table?
Well, that sucks because taking Prince off the table, first off, the best concert I've ever seen was Prince in Chicago, Illinois. And it was devastating. It was beautiful, and I know I still gotta say Prince. Damn it. Chicago,
runner-up?
Chicago, Illinois, but runner up, if I may. I would have to say that seeing Elton John was pretty fucking magical, man. And I got to see him on his first farewell tour at Joe Louis Arena.
It took a long time to say goodbye.
Now he's on his goodbye Yellow Brick Road tour, Anyways, and let me also say this: a close third happened in Indiana, seeing Santana with Stevie Winwood, just outside of Indianapolis. There's a nice, beautiful outdoor venue, and Santana played there. And me and my date, we danced the night away, and it was just it was the stars were aligned, and everything was good in the world that night in Indiana.
So we'll be back in 2 weeks. It'll be October 5th, and we'll have all the deets on the upcoming Cruise in the Barrio return, which will be on the 7th, Friday. So you got to tune into this show on Wednesday to find out all the information you need to know to consider yourself ready to ride.
Bob, can I say this, if you don't mind? I know we're saying our goodbyes. I know we're saying our goodbyes and everything, but I would be remiss and I would be a jerk if I didn't publicly thank you for performing at the Rude Boy Big Ass Birthday Bash coming up on Friday, November 4th at Trixie's in Hamtramck, Michigan. Bob RoX comes out of retirement. Real talk. This is not no bit. Bob RoX, I asked him personally, please perform at my party.
You probably remember my career from the early 2000s along the likes of, big artists like Puff Daddy and, Ja Rule and
Maze.
All these wonderful artists. I was right there with them.
Yeah.
Singing and dancing, and I'm bringing it all back.
Man.
November 4th. Get ready to get your lover on, because Bob RoX is coming with a bucket of chicken to Trixie's, and we about to head on to the buffet line.
Ooh, did you hear that, man? You better go out and buy those gloves and hats for those children over at Davison Elementary School in Detroit, Michigan, Detroit Public Schools. We always got your back. Bobby, any goodbyes or any things you'd like to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to thank everyone who's been with us every episode.
Yes.
I see who the die-hard fans are. Like I said, make sure you're sharing this shit. Because you know what? We got to bring more people in. More questions lead to better conversations. I got to give a shout out to all my people out there. Well, they're all here. So, what up? I don't really have a big circle, but the circle I have is tight as fuck.
That's
and
right.
I pray to God it stays that way.
Amen. Amen to that.
That's all I got to say.
All right, that's all he's got to say. Few things I got to say. Like I said, this Saturday, September 24th at 12 noon, come to Junction, just south of Michigan Avenue in Southwest Detroit, across the street from St. Hedwig. If you know a family or a loved one in the Detroit area who just simply can't afford to get the kids' school supplies, get them over to this event. If you know of anybody who needs medical screening, diabetes testing, also COVID vaccinations, bring them to this festival. And if you know someone or any children who just love to see some good old-fashioned ass kicking, bring them to this festival. Bring your lawn chairs. It's absolutely free. This is the Goodbye Summer Back to School Bash.
The great thing is, there's a lot of independent wrestling. We talk about that all the time.
It's true.
But we are the only independent wrestling company who primarily throws free shows.
Always free. Always.
Now, we do have paid shows just like every other wrestler.
Yes.
But I would say over 50% of our shows can be attended for free.
And I'd like to say that. I'm glad you brought that up, Bob. Real quickly, I know we're getting out of here, but when we ask for you to buy a ticket, don't be so salty, because remember all of the freebies that we gave you throughout the year.
And understand that ticket's going to pay for something special that you're not going to see at just any ordinary show.
Absolutely. So anyways, again, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us today. You could be anywhere in the world. Oh, my God, you could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to roll with us, baby. And let me tell you something. I don't take that lightly at all. No. Until we meet again, we will see you in 2 weeks right here on RoX-TV. And with that being said, you know how I do it. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Be good to one another. Take care of one another. God bless you. All praises to you.